lighten her up. And if Misha wants to complain the fight should have been stopped, then she shouldn't have been in that situation in the first place. So yeah, I was really impressed with Kat tonight. I saw a lot of things that were helpful, so I'm glad I came and saw it live. And yeah, I'm looking forward to Tough, man. It's going to be cool.
You mentioned you wanted to coach against Misha because you thought it'd be good TV and a little bit of fun. I think you just wanted to mess with her a little bit too.
Yeah.
But now that's not the case. What do you think about facing Kat and being across from her?
Well, I always said that the fight that I wanted the most was Kat. So I'm glad that we're actually going to be fighting. And on the show, you never know. It would have been. I think I would have enjoyed tormenting Misha. Whereas Kat seems pretty cool, but I don't really know her at all, but she seems cool. And yeah, it's gonna be cool regardless of who I'm coaching against. It's such a unique and historical situation, which seems to be coming up a lot these days. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome regardless.
I saw a lot of people on the internet saying there's no way either one of these girls could hang with Ronda. Did you take that impression away at all, or do you feel like she was going to be a worthy adversary?
Technically, Kat has a better record than I do right now. She's 8-0, I'm 7-0, and who is it? It was like Rashad and Lyoto. There were only 2 undefeated people fighting for the championship before, so this is something very uncommon and very special. And I'm happy to be part of it, and I always think of myself as the underdog regardless of what other people think.
Sorry. Did you see anything with the submissions that Misha was trying to use to finish Kat that maybe sparked your eye as far as Kat's submission defense?
Yeah, there were some things that Misha could have done better, that she was in some really good positions that she could have capitalized on a little better than she did. But it's easy to say that looking from the outside, you never really know. But yeah, if I was in a similar situation, I would think that it would have ended differently.
Did you hear about the actual series making the move to UFC on FSN for The Ultimate Fighter next season, that it'll be in a new time slot on Wednesdays at 10 p.m. And what do you think about that?
Yeah, I was actually there for the upfronts when they announced the launch of Fox Sports 1, so I'm really excited to be one of the inaugural programs of the new channel. So yeah, it's a really cool position to be in because I don't know, I don't really know that much about the TV business or anything like that, but it's going to be really cool. Everyone from Fox is really excited about Fox Sports 1, and if Tough is one of the first shows that they're having on it, then it's going to be a great channel.
It seems like you and Uriah developed a friendship. What did you think of the fight with Kelvin?
It's so like Uriah and Kelvin are like, they're just like, what do you like better, like peach or apple pie? I'm just kind of stuck. I'm like, I just like pie. Don't make me choose. And Kelvin's adorable and awesome, and you can't help but be happy for him. And Uriah is an amazing guy. He came and stayed with us for a while, and we love him, and. It was a really, really good fight, man, and I expected Kelvin to really came out, and he showed a lot of heart, and I think that Uriah showed a lot of his tools that he has, but I don't think he implemented them as well as he could. But I mean, that's the good thing about the show. The show is not to pick the next champion of the UFC, it's to pick the next new guys coming up, and I just saw so much potential in both of them. I can't wait to see what they do from here on out.
Were you concerned at all about the women's fight tonight, that it would come out as well as it was? I mean, were you thinking, well, I hope it's not a flat fight because I want it, to build up?
Oh yeah, I was very much hoping for an exciting fight with the girls. This was the first time that I was able to watch a women's UFC fight from the outside, and so I was really kind of paying attention to how the crowd was receiving them and how everyone thought of the fight, and it was awesome. People got way more excited for like the scrambles and exchanges between the chicks than they did with the guys. It seemed like whenever these starts, like everyone freaks out for that little bit, and yeah, I think that they performed extremely well. It was a good back and forth fight, and I'm happy it went the way that it did.
Focusing on your next role as a coach, I mean, how much coaching experience do you have, whether it be in judo or mixed martial arts? I mean, is this a cap you've worn before?
Yeah, I did quite a bit of coaching in judo before. I helped run the West Coast Judo Training Center for a while for like just little kids, and when it got to the point where I had too much time taken away from MMA, then my mom kind of took over the program, and I was also teaching at Gompers Middle School in Watts. We started that program there, and that was another thing that my mom was nice enough to take over when all this took up all my time all of a sudden. And but mostly I've been working with like kids trying to cross over into that senior age group, people that are just finishing juniors, moving to seniors, which is the really hardest time, which I think is draws a lot of parallels to this Ultimate Fighter tournament. People are looking to move up to the next level and trying to, get on, and I don't know how I can say better than move on to the next level. I have other things than that, but yeah, I have some experience in it, but gonna have to help my own coach who has a lot more than me. So I'm probably pretty much gonna be looking over my shoulder to him at the time, like, so what do I say right now? And I'm gonna have a lot of great help. So.
Have you given any thought to who else you might bring in, and is there any chance that your mom might be helping you coach?
Don't ruin my surprises. You guys have to watch the series and just find out. But yeah, there would be. It would be incomplete without momisms, and live momisms are usually the best.
How do you feel about teaching guys and potential future opponents as well?
I mean, I'm used to teaching guys that want to learn, you know, and I hope that the kind of guys that try out for this Ultimate Fighter are the kind that are willing to learn from women and are open-minded and don't give me a lot of trouble. And as for coaching future competition, it doesn't really bother me at all. I feel like we need the rising tide to lift all the boats pretty much right now, and so I want these girls to get as good as possible and get as much exposure as possible, and if it ends up being a detriment to me in the future, well, I just have to be that much better of a competitor.
What techniques are you going to look for when you choose your team?
I don't know. I really don't know yet. I don't think I'm going to try and look for people to be little copies of me. I'm going to try and look for people to be good versions of themselves, and I'm looking at everyone as overall, I think, as fighters to pick them.
So you think more ground fighting, more stand-up? Does it matter?
I don't think it matters. I don't favor one style over the other, you know, as someone who watches.
Yeah.
Me personally, I kind of do. But no, you don't know until you watch people fight. There's a lot of other factors that you look at besides people's speciality.
Tryouts are Monday. You know, how deep do you think the low class of women you're going to be picking from is going to be?
I don't know. I mean, I have a lot of girls hitting me up saying that they're going, and I just found out that I'm not allowed to go to the tryouts. I was all planning to go, and I guess they don't usually have the coaches picked while they're having the tryouts. Like, this is a new thing that they know everything ahead of time. So I'm not going to be able to see any of them until they fight to get into the house. So I don't know. We'll see.
Can you talk about what the response from the fans has been like since your first fight with UFC?
Amazing. There wasn't anywhere I could walk today without people screaming, and screaming in a good way, not like "we hate you." I didn't really hear any of those. But yeah, the fan response has been amazing, and man, I'm just lucky. I'm lucky. I have no complaints, man. It's cool. I love it.
Since there's men and women, do you know how many they're going to pick of each?
Oh man, they're gonna make me sound like really uninformed.
Well, you may not know. I'm just. Is it 8 and 8, or are they gonna?
Sounds like a great number. Why don't you stick with that?
Do you have any expectations for what you think the dynamic's going to be like in the house? People are trying to figure out, is it going to be hijinks and, guys and girls and sexual tension? Or do you think, there's a responsibility on the women coming in to kind of set a tone that there is a professionalism to this and that they are still trying to carve their way out in the UFC?
I think the series itself has kind of been going away from that kind of attention-grabby, reality TV-esque kind of genre and more into just a documentary series on the toughest, most competitive tournament in martial arts. And I think that it's going to be very similar in this season, at least on my team, because I'm going to have to remind these girls that this is the first impression that you're setting. It's the first impression that you're setting for people for women MMA fighters, because this is a lot of exposure that they're going to be getting. And if they're chicks, if they're the chick that was screwing around the house for the rest of their career, they're going to be known as the chick that was screwing around the house. And sponsors going to be looking at that. Everybody's going to be looking at that. So if you think it's $100,000 worth of that lay, then go for it. But I'm just going to remind them there's going to be a lot of very permanent consequences to how they carry themselves in the house.
Have you had any pushback from your comments about Fallon Fox to the New York coach? Has UFC or anybody else come to talk to you about it?
No, why would we?
Oh, I just want to make sure there wasn't any policy, violations with that.
How would I have violated the policy?
I think the first quote in the story.
What was the quote?
Oh, something with you used a term for the male anatomy that may have.
I said pecker?
Yeah.
So, how would you like me to use it?
Oh no, I just wanted to make sure there's no fallout. That's all.
No, I just wanted to make sure that I understood your question. How would you like me to phrase it?
Oh no, I have no problem with that.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Let's move on.
Ronda, are you worried about any of your athletes, using alcohol in excess during the show? There didn't seem to be too much of that. Are you going to be regulating that on your team?
Yeah, I'm expecting them to hold themselves as professionals. I would expect them to be eating as professionals and behaving as such. They're not going to be eating Ben and Jerry's. They're not going to be chugging down, a bunch of Jack. And if they are, then I did a very poor job picking my team.
Are they going to get the one beer after practice?
They might if they're good. If they're good, I mean, it depends. I don't know. We'll see if they're being if they're carrying themselves the way that we want them to, then we'll find ways to reward them. I don't know if one beer will do it or not.
Sounds like you're taking the role of coach pretty seriously. You said as long as the guys are willing to learn from me and don't give me any trouble in regulating the alcohol, big opportunity for you.
Yeah.
Kind of push the sport in the direction you see fit.
Yeah, I think that people need to see that that we're serious about this and we're not just a bunch of hoodlums.
Are you going to teach them armbar defense?
We're going to teach them armbar everything and then a lot of other things as well.
You mentioned Kat was the opponent that you wanted stylistically. What about her style is intriguing to you as an opponent?
Oh, her stance. She's a South Paw, and in Judo, that was a stance that I was used to fighting my whole life. You know, if you're right-handed, that's how you stand in Judo. So, yeah, I'm very, very much looking forward to that. It's not more a return to what's comfortable because I kind of had to relearn to fight people with an opposite stance in MMA. So, yeah, I'm gonna be really looking forward to setting up a whole lot more creative takedowns from that side.
Can we expect South Paw Ronda Rousey?
Except what?
South Paw Ronda Rousey? Can we expect that?
Oh no! Why would I need to change for somebody else? They need to change for me.
Ron, I know Misha rubbed you the wrong way. Does Kat rub you at all the wrong way?
She seems like a cool chick, but I don't really know her from the hole in the wall. I mean, we haven't really sat down and made s'mores yet, but who knows? We might in the tough house. Stay tuned.
When's the first time you saw Kat?
The first time I saw her was, I think we were getting ready for the press conference for the UFC 157. And she came backstage and, you know, she said hello and actually, like, you know, shook my hand. It was very nice. So my first impression of her, she's a very respectful and cool chick. And, but we're going to be getting to know each other very, very well. So we'll see.
Is there an offer to take Kat surfing after your fight with her?
I mean, not yet. I mean, we just said hi and bye. But the offer's still open for Liz. Hey, call me.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you, guys.